I'm a shoulder you can cry on.
Pop music isn't just sound, it's memory. It's the chorus you can't shake, the dance your feet remember, the band that marked a moment in your life. Tonight, we count down the 15 greatest pop bands we'll never forget. No repeats, no filler, all legacy. From Motown elegance to MTV icons, stadium anthems to global K-pop fever, every pick earns its place with real impact. Chart firsts, era-defining albums, and culture-shifting moments. If a hook ever rescued your day, this is your story. Settle in, because by the time we hit number one, you'll remember exactly why pop still rules your heart. This is what a new boy band boom looks like when the whole internet shows up. 5 teens from the X Factor 2010 become a worldwide touring machine, a meme factory, and most importantly, a chart story you can't deny. Their debut album, Up All Night, didn't just sell, it made U.S. chart history as the first debut by a UK group to enter the Billboard 200 at #1. That's a line in the pop history books, not just a headline.
I'm trying to be okay. I'm trying to be alright.
The lesson: organize your fandom, deliver the hooks, and turn teenage devotion into undeniable market power. MTV didn't just play their videos, it crowned them. Duran Duran took glossy visuals, fashion, and jet-set storytelling and fused them with sharp, danceable pop. In the early 80s, they helped drive the second British invasion of the U.S., proving that style and sound could be one package and that the video could be as critical as the chorus. Put simply, they taught pop bands to think cinematically, then ride that image to radio, charts, and arenas. Starting clubs with drum machines and bleak romance, and in stadiums with a faithful, lifelong following. That's Depeche Mode's Arc. They turned electronic pop into a serious, widescreen experience, intimate in headphones, thunderous in arenas. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame call in 2020 wasn't rock versus pop. It was recognition that these songs reshaped what mainstream pop could sound like: dark, modern, and human. Coldplay writes songs you can hear from the back fence of a festival. Melodies rise, crowds sing, and the hooks survive every trend swing. Viva La Vida, topping both the US Hot 100 and the UK Singles Chart, proved they're not only alternative radio staples, but true pop headliners across continents. If pop is about collective release, few bands bottle that feeling better. Before boy bands were a category, there was a family band that broke the door down. The Jackson 5 arrived fully formed. Choreography, charisma, and a young lead with a voice beyond his years. Their first 4 singles all hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, an unmatched debut streak that set the template for teen pop frenzy and crossover success.
Ooh, look in my eyes and see how much I want you.
Every later pop group chasing that instant ignition owes them a debt. They didn't invent the boy band, but they perfected the modern version. 5 distinct voices, clean harmonies, polished choreography, and a hit factory behind them. Formed in Orlando in the early 90s, they broke first in Europe, then exploded in the US. When Backstreet Boys 1997 and Millennium 1999 arrived back-to-back like twin tidal waves. If you want to understand why that era felt so big, radio, TRL, mall signings with thousands of screaming fans, Backstreet Boys were the epicenter. What made them click wasn't just image, it was the technical blend. AJ's raspy edge, Brian's clear tenor, Nick's youthful brightness, Howie's smooth support, Kevin's low anchor. Together they stacked harmonies that felt both church choir tight and stadium wide.
It seems like we're meant to be. I don't care who.
Producers and writers gave them hooks that stuck after one listen, but the group's vocal discipline made those hooks feel earned. In 1996, 5 personalities walked into pop like they owned it because they did. Scary, sporty, baby, ginger, posh. The nicknames turned them into instant archetypes. The chemistry made them unstoppable. The message was simple and radical for mainstream pop. Friendship, confidence, fun, and total control of your aura. That girl power was more than a slogan. It was a permission slip for millions of young listeners to take up space, speak loudly, and demand a catchy chorus while doing it. Musically, they were hook maximalists. Big chants, bright tempos, and harmonies you could sing in a group with zero rehearsal. They weren't chasing cool, they were creating their own corner of pop where joy was the point. Add sharp branding, platform shoes, bold colors, instantly recognizable outfits, and they became a visual language that even non-fans understood. Before global TV moments and viral dances, there were records so elegant and precise they slipped into every living room. The Supremes turned sophisticated soul into mainstream pop without dulling the edges.
It's a game of give and take. How long must I wait? How much more can I take?
With Diana Ross out front and the Motown machine, songwriters Holland Dozier Holland, musicians like the Funk Brothers behind them, they stacked U.S. #1s like few groups in history. The secret was restraint and detail, sparse but perfect arrangements, tambourines that tick like clocks, bass lines that glide, strings that whisper confidence. Over that, Ross delivered lead vocals with conversational clarity. The harmonies around her felt like supportive friends. Every chorus landed like a lesson in economy. Say less, mean more.
Listen carefully to the sound.
Few bands turned private life into public art as powerfully as Fleetwood Mac. The late 70s lineup, Lindsey Buckingham, Stevie Nicks, Christine McVie with the rhythm engine of Mick Fleetwood and John McVie made songs that felt like diary pages set to sunlit melodies.
And what you had, what you know.
Rumors became a phenomenon not just because it was catchy, but because it felt true. The lyrics read like conversations you weren't supposed to hear, yet the harmonies wrapped everything in warmth. Their craft is sneaky. Under the radio gloss are unusual chord turns, guitar parts that interlock like gears, and 3 lead vocal identities that give each track a different emotional temperature. Christine's elegant calm, Stevie's mystic flair, Lindsay's percussive bite. Mix those with a rhythm section that never overplays, and you get pop rock that breathes. At first, they painted teenage California, surf, cars, and harmony stacks that felt like summer itself. But listen closer, and you hear a composer's mind at work. Brian Wilson took the grammar of doo-wop and 4 freshman jazz harmonies, then rescored pop for a new age, modulations that sneak up on you, bass lines that sing counter melodies, and vocal arrangements that made 5 voices sound like an entire choir. Pet sounds marked the moment when the studio became an instrument. Instead of chasing chart trends, Wilson wrote intimate songs with unusual textures, bicycle bells, theremin-like tones, layered percussion, then wrapped them in harmonies as soft as sea foam. The impact traveled far. It inspired peers to treat albums as cohesive statements and gave later generations permission to pursue beauty over volume. When people talk about the 1970s, 2 sounds come up again and again: the low thump of a 4-on-the-floor kick drum and the unmistakable falsetto of the Bee Gees.
They brought me back to see.
Barry, Robin, and Maurice Gibb didn't just ride the disco wave, they built it, decorated it, then handed out the rule book to the rest of the industry. They had already been successful singer-songwriters before Saturday Night Fever, but that soundtrack turned them into something bigger than a group. For 24 straight weeks, it ruled the Billboard 200, redefining what a soundtrack could do and how pop culture could move as one. Their songs weren't just hits, they were events. Staying Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, Night Fever. These were melodies that stepped out of the radio and into fashion, film, nightlife, and everyday language.
So let's go. Hey. 'Cause I'm in this destiny. So watch me.
Pop used to flow mostly from the US and UK, but BTS broke the dam and rewired the system. They became the first all-South Korean group to top both the Billboard Hot 100 and Billboard 200, kicking open a new chapter in global music, one where language barriers didn't matter and fans organized like communities instead of audiences.
Whoa, bring a friend, join the crowd, whoever wanna come along. It's destiny. So watch me bring that fire, set the night light.
What makes BTS special isn't just numbers, though. Their numbers are wild. It's intention. Every performance is engineered but emotional. Every album has concepts, lore, and personal honesty baked into the hooks. And their choreography, it's pop theater, precise enough for the camera, grand enough for stadiums.
Living on my own. Sometimes I feel I'm always walking too fast. Got to be some good times ahead. Sometimes I feel nobody.
Freddie Mercury didn't sing songs, he unleashed them. Queen was always more than a rock band. They treated every studio session like a stage, and every stage like a world they built from scratch. The harmonies, the guitar tones, the arrangements that were somehow both huge and precise. They didn't just push boundaries, they tossed them aside. Bohemian Rhapsody proved pop had no ceiling. Somebody to Love proved pop had no floor. We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions became anthems so universal you don't even remember learning them. They feel like they came pre-installed in human memory. And then there's Live Aid, 1985, the gold standard for live performance. Queen didn't just steal the show, they reset expectations for what a live vocal, a live band, and a live connection could do to an audience. Even people born decades later watch that performance and feel like they were there. That's the power of a group whose every song, no matter how operatic, still speaks directly to the human heart.
Now I see you've broken a feather.
ABBA is timeless in a way that's hard to explain until you hear those first few notes, the shimmer of synth, the clean guitar, the vocal blend that sounds like warm light. They won Eurovision in 1974 with Waterloo, but what came after was a masterclass in pure pop structure.
All the heartaches come and they go, and the scars they leave it.
Verse, chorus, bridge. ABBA always knew exactly where the emotional buttons were and how to press them with precision and charm. Their songs weren't just catchy, they were beautifully built.
But the sun is still in the sky and shining above.
Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, Take a Chance on Me. Each one feels like a place you've visited before, even if you're hearing it for the first time. They wrote about love, heartbreak, and longing with an honesty that still hits today.
Is very short and there's no time.
Before the Beatles, pop was a field. After the Beatles, it was a universe. No group in music history has reshaped culture, creativity, and commercial success the way they did.
That it's a crime. So
They're still the best-selling band of all time, but the numbers only tell part of the story. They evolved faster than any group before or after. From the tight harmonies of their early singles to the psychedelia of Sgt.
why do you see it your way? There's a chance that we might fall apart before.
Peppers to the emotional landscapes of Let It Be. They treated every album like a new chapter of invention. They didn't just write hits, they changed what hits could sound like.
Chance that we might fall apart before too long. We can work it out.
They pushed recording technology forward. They reinvented album structure. They turned the studio into an instrument. And even today, artists across pop, rock, hip-hop, and electronic music reference the Beatles, sometimes without realizing it. Just if you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.